in.
All right.
So how ticked off are you that the president comes in and interrupts your practice today?
Oh, it was a good thing. I'm glad he wanted to be here. I think that's an awesome deal. And it was, I like what he's doing, and he was anxious to get a chance to talk to the fellas about it. I thought he had a great message to deliver to him, and we got a lot of good work done. So it was a great combination of things.
Good. Were you surprised you didn't know he was coming today, or?
I might have known. We knew he was coming, and it was a great deal.
Good. You know, I think overall, one of the things I've been the most impressed with this whole camp is that your kids seem to know what they're doing. They don't look like they're lost. They don't look like they're tripping over themselves trying to figure out where to go. And it's that growing up process. It looks like they finally kind of grew up a little bit.
Well, I like the fact that we're further along in the program. I think that shows you a little bit. And we're being able to pay attention to playing at a higher standard rather than learning how to win, rather than learning where we're going. Pulling some new guys along a little bit, but there's a lot of veteran out here that's making things happen. They know what's expected and working at competing harder and faster, and I like the way it's headed.
On that subject, talk a little bit about having Nate playing now, going into his fourth year as starting quarterback.
Well, he's grown a lot, and what you see right now, I mean, just from a year ago to now, he's a general out there. He's not just a leader, he's a general. He's taking command of everything, and I really like the way he's handling that in the huddle, at the line of scrimmage, in the meeting rooms, off the field, on the field. And you see a guy that's throwing the ball very well. He's paid attention to some things that can help him, like film study and some different items like that, and he's playing well out here.
Coach, you mentioned some of the new guys. Anyone really surprised your expectations so far? Or everyone just
well, we brought them all here because we have high expectations. So, surprised, no. But Armani, we saw a little bit of him in the spring, and he showed up and is doing well. Homer Manga is really playing well. He's getting himself around the football and making plays a lot. I like what I've seen out of him. We had high expectations for that, and he's backing it up. I think that's a good thing. Those are a couple guys that pop right out to my mind, and some of them don't seem like they're new guys to me, even though they are. So if I'm leaving somebody out, I probably am. But I like a lot of what I'm seeing out here, and there's obviously some opportunity. We got some guys that are on the shelf for a little bit right now. It provides more opportunity for some other guys.
Sure.
Quinn Ashley is a guy that's not new, but I like. He's really improved as a player. He's doing things better, and there's an opportunity for him to be on the field more with Shiloh being on the shelf a little bit right now. Gary Walker is really doing things well. Of course, we saw that. We saw him grow in the spring, and he has taken it again to another level at this point in time. In the offensive line, Sam Tapua is a new guy that we expected to compete. He's doing good things. Tavita has really improved. So those are a few of the new guys in a nutshell there. Did I leave anybody out?
No,
I don't think so.
Not that I've noticed.
Good.
How about that O-line, Coach? Are you close to naming any starters, or is that going to wait a little while?
I have a pretty good idea. Matt Cleveland probably start for us.
All right.
No.
It's getting close to being where we want it to be. I think we're seeing, I look at him, he's doing very well. Novikov has really come along, he's doing very well. Tavita has improved and is doing very well. I mentioned Sam, he's doing good things. Khalil Hasselbank is doing a lot of nice things. He's getting in the way in there very well. Young Marble is doing good things, and especially when you consider his youth, that's a positive. We'll see what it ends up turning into. Wiley is, he's learning some things. It's a new system for him, and getting into the shape to play 4-year ball. Those things are coming, but I have high expectations for what he's going to be able to bring to the table.
And notice a handful of guys out here without pads, and you mentioned some of the guys on the shelf. Anyone more than day-to-day?
Well, let me see. We got Moshaw, we're getting him off of a hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
I have great expectations for him. I'd like to see him out here right now. It's going to be a few days with him, obviously. Shiloh, as soon as those spasms go away in his back, he'll be back out here again. It shouldn't be anything long-term. JoJo, we get that pain out of that shoulder, he should be back right quick, and hopefully it won't be more than just a couple of days. Who am I missing? Beltong's already back into the mix of things. And then we got a few guys that are fighting through some stuff right now, and Jonah is preventative. I think that's most of the guys that are out, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I left anybody out, remind me.
It seems like we've got this, a long way to go, and this fall camp's just kind of in its early stages, but really North Dakota's season opener is creeping right up on you. How does that kind of...
It's going to blink and it's going to be here, and that's what I talked to our guys about. A week ago we were in a special teams meeting and we're having, something happening. I don't know, some guy blew an assignment. You can laugh at it in the 5th practice of of camp. But that ain't going to be real funny if that happens on the 2nd of September. And so that was my message to the team on that evening. You know, there's nothing wrong with having fun going through camp, and you're going to give your buddies the business a little bit when something doesn't go their way. But there better be a great sense of urgency by that guy to fix it the next opportunity he gets, and that particular kid did. That's a lot of what I like about this team, what I'm seeing out here on the field. They're working to improve upon mistakes that might be made. Now, we had our first scrimmage. It seems like that was a week ago. I think it was a couple days ago. That tells us right now there better be a stronger sense of urgency. There's only 2 more scrimmages, and it's going to be closer to game time. So I'm hoping that the sense of urgency is skyrocketing a little bit right now. We want to create that. I don't want it to be a deal where, oh, we're in camp, and all of a sudden, hey, it's game week, we got to get going. We're trying to raise that sense of urgency, and I think the team's responded to it pretty well.